My opinion is that she did have indeed a mental disease or defect. She had bipolar disorder with postpartum psychoses. In addition, she was unable to conform her behaviors to the rule of law, and she had no appreciation for the wrongfulness of her act.
Lindsay Clancy, psychologist there, testifying yesterday she is not criminally responsible for the murders of her 3 children. The woman from Massachusetts has admitted to killing them, but her attorneys say Clancy was over-medicated and suffering from postpartum psychosis. A trial continues later this morning. The judge actually dismissed jurors earlier than planned yesterday due to what he called an unforeseen circumstance. CBS News legal contributor Rebba Roiphe is following this case closely and joins us now to, I guess, make sense of it all. Good morning, Rebecca. What did you make of the testimony from Lindsay Clancy's psychologist? Really, the nation has been transfixed by this story, and we all wonder what the proper outcome should be. So what did you make from what Dr. Zeisel said?
Yeah, good morning, Errol. So I think that this was the most important testimony for the defense here because the psychiatrist testified to this ultimate issue. The government in this case bears the burden of showing that she acted not only in a premeditated way, but also with criminal responsibility. And here we have a psychiatrist directly testifying to that ultimate legal issue, saying that she did not. She had a mental disease or defect. She had that bipolar disorder and psychosis that made it such that she could not appreciate right and wrong, and that she couldn't conform her conduct to the law. And that, if the jury believes it, establishes that she lacked that criminal responsibility and would undermine the prosecution's case.
Now, in the end, Lindsay Clancy will either go to prison, to jail, or she will go to a psychiatric ward. On cross-examination, Dr. Zeisel said Clancy had intrusive thoughts, but she did not specifically tell him that she heard a voice telling her to kill herself. Can you explain why that might matter to the prosecution? What difference that could make?
Yeah, absolutely. So that is the strongest evidence that she lacked criminal responsibility. I mean, if she's hearing a command hallucination, essentially a voice telling her she has to do that, and the jury believes that, is almost, a sure thing that she doesn't have that control over her actions and ability to conform her conduct to the rule of law. So if the prosecution can undermine that point, then perhaps along with some other facts that they've proved, this could establish criminal responsibility. So essentially what the
defense
was doing there was saying she didn't have these hallucinations. She only came up with that after the murder.
Now, the defense could potentially rest its case today. Would you recommend Lindsay Clancy take the stand? Is that something that might help her case or perhaps be more problematic?
Yeah, I mean, so, generally it often can create more problems. I think in a case like this, it's interesting because there are arguments both ways. I mean, the ultimate issue is her state of mind. And so obviously the jury is thinking, why isn't she getting up there and telling us what her state of mind is? And so, even though there is absolutely no burden and she has the right not to take the stand and the jury will be instructed in that way, there's some pressure for her to take the stand in this moment. That said, I think the risk is far higher because under these circumstances, the prosecution has the opportunity to cross-examine her about every last fact. And if they find some inconsistency, it looks like she's not telling the truth, or in any way make her look like she is, somehow lying about this or had a more organized way of thinking at that time, that's an opportunity for the prosecution. I think at this point, the defense has done a very good job of undermining the prosecution's case and probably will opt not to put her on the stand.
A heartbreaking case all throughout. Rebba Roiphe, thanks for helping us understand it all. Appreciate it.